Alright, so in this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the question, should Christians spread the gospel? Now, this is an important topic for several reasons, but one reason in particular that I think is fascinating to think about when we're discussing this is that Barna this year released a statistic that almost half, 47% to be exact, of Christian millennials believe that it is actually wrong to share their faith, to share the gospel with someone of another faith or religion in hopes that they convert to Christianity. So is this true? Is it true that it's wrong to share the gospel with people? Is it wrong to talk with individuals of other faiths, of other belief systems in order to hopefully bring them to Christ? Well, let's see what Jesus said about this. Mark 16:15, he said, "And he said to them, Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." So, honestly, why do we proclaim the gospel? Why do we go out and preach the gospel, share it with other individuals? Because we are commanded to, because Jesus specifically says that we are to go out and to preach the gospel to every creature. Now, I want to talk about a couple of other motivations for this because it's very clear that we are commanded in the Bible to go and to evangelize, but a couple of other things. One thing that I think comes up for people, especially that are possibly a younger generation like millennials or Gen Z, for example, is shouldn't we be politically correct? Shouldn't we be tolerant of people of other beliefs? Now, I want to say in a sense we should be, and in a sense we shouldn't be. And what I mean by that is, yes, we should be tolerant, as in that we should respect people. We should act in a way that is dignified. We should give them respect and consideration when we are sharing the gospel with them. But being tolerant does not mean that we accept falsehood and lies as truth whenever they're not. It doesn't mean that we condone someone's false belief. What it means is that we come up to someone and we share with them in a way that is loving, it's compassionate, but at the same time we're boldly proclaiming the truth. So we shouldn't be tolerant in the sense that we say, well, that's all right, you can just believe whatever you want to believe. Because if what they believe is wrong, then we're not being tolerant, we're being unloving. Frankly, tolerance is giving someone the respect that they are a human individual and they have a right to believe in different ways. Whether it's right or wrong, they have the God-given right to do that. But it also, we need to come in and we need to bring the truth to them. We can't be politically correct because as Christians, we know that hell exists. The Bible clearly teaches that hell exists several times throughout the entire Bible. We know that an eternal judgment is awaiting those that do not know Christ as their Lord and Savior. So we need to go and we need to proclaim the truth to them on how they can escape this judgment through Jesus Christ. So no, we should not be tolerant. We should be respectful of people and their beliefs, but we should not be tolerant in the sense that we just blindly accept that all roads lead to the same place or something along those lines. We need to be bold in our proclamation of the truth while at the same time maintaining a loving, compassionate attitude towards others because we know they are created in the image of God and they are humans that have the right to believe what they choose because of that. Another motivation, we are to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, the second greatest commandment. We know that hell exists, and we know that we are called to love others. So if we love others and we know that impending judgment is coming, the most loving thing we can do is to tell them that and to tell them how they can escape that judgment through Jesus Christ. Thirdly, James 4:17 says, "To him who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is sin." We've seen specifically where we are commanded to go and to share the gospel with people. So if we know we're supposed to do that, and yet we don't do that. Now, I'm not talking about you have to evangelize 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm talking about if you're making a habit out of living in silence and not proclaiming your faith, then that is a sin because you're not doing the good that you know to do. You're not obeying the commands of Jesus. So to recap here, why do we evangelize? Frequently because we are commanded by Jesus to evangelize. What are a few motivations? Firstly, because we know a literal hell exists. We know that impending judgment is coming, and we need to get the gospel to people so that they can come to know Christ as their Lord and Savior from that judgment. Secondly, we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. If we're going to be loving, we have to tell people the truth about the judgment and how they can escape that. And then lastly, because if we don't evangelize, if we're making a habit of a lifestyle of not evangelizing, it is a sin to us. I hope this helped to answer the question, should Christians share the gospel for you? Hopefully you got some valuable insights from it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today. We'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed day.